So the next step here in our laboratory plan view is to add all of these exterior cutouts for openings for things like windows and doors. So we're going to start here in the northeast corner, and you can see we've got dimensions coming off the exterior wall. The first one's 2 foot 8 inches to the first MO, which stands for masonry opening. So in my drawing, I'm going to use some temporary lines and commands like the offset, extend, and trim to accomplish these cutouts. So I'll start with a line command, and I'm going to use my object snap tracking just to draw my line to the correct width so I don't have to go back and cut it later. So you can see it right here. I'm going to offset that 2 foot 8 inches to the left, and then I'll get rid of my initial line. So now the rest of these are just a series of offsets, so I'll just do them in succession here. So 3 foot 4, space, space. The next one's 1 foot 4, back to 3 foot 4, then 2 foot, and that gets me here. So again, an offset of 3 foot 4, an offset of 2 feet, and one more at 3 foot 4. So before I move on, I'm just going to cut these and then add a basic feature in for the plan view of the window. So we'll go to the trim command, use all objects, and just cut away the middles of these. And then we'll go back to the line command, and I'll just use the mid plane and maybe offset this 1 inch to either side. And if you want, you can get fancy and we can add a window frame here, maybe offset it 2 inches, and do the same over here. I'm going to get rid of this middle line and these extra lines on the end, and then maybe we'll add a feature down the middle so this looks like a double hung window with a frame. So now that I've got this drawn, I'll just copy it, and I'll use my midpoint as the base point, and I'll paste this into the other window openings. So that takes care of the northeast corner. If I zoom out a little bit, I've got a window opening and I've got a door opening. So we'll start down there. And again, I'll use the line command. Make sure that you have object snap tracking and object snap on. And then what you can do is snap to things like endpoints and then track down. That's how I'm able to draw this line without having to end up trimming away later on. So offset 2 feet. Make sure to get rid of your temporary lines here. Then an offset of 3 foot 4. And then an offset of 8 feet. And that went the wrong way. So we'll delete that one. And then lastly, I've got an offset of 3 foot 4. So we'll do the trim here as well. Get rid of these sections. I'm going to come over here and use the blue window to select that, do a copy, bring it down here to the midpoint, select this again, do a rotate, and there we have that. Next we need a door for this opening, and that looks like this door right here, so we'll do a copy command. And we're just going to put this near the mid plane here. So we'd have to actually adjust this based on the door schedule, but that's good enough for what we're intending to do. And now we've got some more windows on the south face of this wall. So we've got a 2 foot, 3 foot 4, 6, 8, 3, 4, 1, 4, 3, 4. So let's finish those. So again, a line. Use my object snap tracking trick, offset 2 feet. Delete that one, do an offset of 3 foot 4. Offset of 6 foot 8. Offset 6 foot 8. There we go. 6 foot 8. offset of 3'4". It looks like I clobbered one of my lines here. I'll have to go back and add that later. And then 1'4" and 3'4". And I'm not sure when this line went away, but we'll fix that up. And then we'll trim these away, and we'll add in our window detail. Moving over a little bit, we need the door for our vestibule entryway, and if we zoom in a bit, we've got a 2-foot mark. So, whoops. So align command, offset 2 feet, delete, offset 3'4", trim, grab a door, it's this one here, copy from the midpoint to the midpoint over here is good enough. So now we've got our exterior door. We have one more window, and we actually do have some mechanical duct cutouts over here, and we can look for those on this drawing to figure out where they are. So let's add our last door here. It's 8 inches off of the side here. So we'll do a line command, offset that 8 inches, and then offset that 3'4". Get rid of this line, do a trim, copy over this detail. So a lot of this is pretty repetitive. Alright, so now we've got all of our exterior doors, our windows, and the only remaining features that are exterior penetrations here are for the mechanical ducts. While we're at it, we may as well add this equipment pad. So we've got a measurement here of 6'8" off of the south face here. So let's draw this to the correct size as well. So that's 11'4" off of that. So what I'm going to do is just use a line command from this point and do an at -11'4", comma 0, and now I can offset that the 6'8" dimension. Get rid of this original one, and then this is 15 feet wide. So offset 15, offset 15 feet to the top. Use a line command to connect these things. And now let's go look for these mechanical penetrations here. So we'll go to detail 4 on A01-501. So that just gives us the view of the masonry around the duct opening. So let's go to the mechanical drawings and look for some details here. So if we go to the plan view and we zoom in over here, here's our equipment pad. It gives us that 6'8" dimension. We do know the size of these things. So this is a 22 by 14, and then this is a 14 by 20. Let's look at a section view here. So here we have a section view that tells us these are located 7'4" from this face of the wall. So if we do a line command and offset it 7'4", and then we've got a 22-inch dimension and a 22-inch dimension, and there's probably a gap between those things. And I'm not seeing it right here, so what we're going to do is we're just going to add a space in there that's about 6 inches. So we'll offset this 22 inches. I went to the wrong side. Offset 22, offset 6, and 22. And that'll look about right. So let's fix up this detail. So we'll use trim, and then we'll just trim away that feature there, so you can see that those are penetrations of that exterior wall. And now if we zoom out a bit and look at our plan view, we've got all of the exterior penetrations. We've got our windows, we've got our doors, and then we actually also added this equipment pad. You'll note that there's actually a ramp down here as well that we could add. We are given some dimensions here. And then there's also another one over here. Maybe we'll add those in a later video.